Welcome back. Before we dive in today, I want to mention that it's Maternal Mental Health Awareness Month. Maternal mental health awareness is incredibly important to me. So much so that I have 10 episodes of the podcast that have touched on this topic in some way. I share my postpartum anxiety story in episode 29, and then in other episodes, I spoke with women who shared their postpartum journeys, fathers who supported struggling wives, therapists, OBGYNs, maternal coaches, pediatricians, and even the CEO of Postpartum Support International. We are going to link to all of these episodes in the show notes. And if you're a new or expecting mom, I want to encourage you to listen to these or share them with a new mom in your life. I truly believe that a mother's health matters just as much as her baby's health. So if you're a new or expecting mom listening right now, please remember that you matter too. Okay, on to today's episode. Today, we're talking about something very common in those early newborn weeks. That is day-night confusion. If you're living through this right now, or you remember it all too clearly, you know just how rough it can be, and this episode is for you. Hi, I'm Allison Egidi, a pediatric sleep and wellness coach and a mom of two. I love to help parents find solutions. This is How Long Till Bedtime. I want to start by defining day-night confusion. This is when your baby wants to take their longer, let's say 2 to 4 hour stretches of sleep during the day. And then at night, it feels like they're waking every 1 to 2 hours or trying to have a long wakeful period during the night. They may appear to be wide awake and ready to party at 2 a.m. It's exhausting, it's disorienting, and it's completely normal in the first 6 weeks. But the good news is there are things that you can do to help your baby get through day-night confusion faster. And before we dive into the specifics, I just want to reassure you that this is totally a developmental phase and it will pass. It's not a sign that anything is wrong or that your baby will be a, quote, bad sleeper long term. Their internal clock, their circadian rhythm, it's still developing, and they just need a little support to figure things out. Now, let's talk about what you can do to help them. First, at night, you want your baby's sleep environment to be super dark. And when I say super dark, I mean no night lights, no hallway lights streaming in, and the minimum possible amount of light during those middle of the night feedings and diaper changes. Once your baby goes to bed, typically somewhere between 8 and 10 p.m. in those early weeks, you want to keep them in that dark, quiet environment until at least 5 a.m., but ideally until more of an ideal wake time window, which I would say is between 6 and 8 a.m. And if you're able, try to keep them in the room where you ultimately want them to be sleeping, whether that's your room or their room, during those kind of long nighttime windows. We don't want to be moving them out of that sleeping area if we can avoid it. Even if your baby is waking up to eat and or resisting going back down to sleep after awaking, you want everything about the environment to be signaling it's time to sleep. It is still nighttime. That's why we try to stay in the dark room. If you need a little light for a feed or a diaper change, use a very dim, ideally red tone night light, and turn it off as soon as you're done or no longer need it. And just a quick reassurance, your baby is not old enough yet to be scared of the dark. They are not born with that ability. So don't hesitate to make it as dark as possible. It's comforting to them, not scary. Second, During the daytime, you want to do the exact opposite. Even if it's been a long night, if they are still sleeping at 8 a.m., go ahead and wake them up to signal that it's daytime. Expose your baby to lots of natural light during the day. When they're awake for the day, open the blinds, let the sunlight stream in, and if possible, get them outside for a little fresh air and natural light exposure, especially in the morning and again in the late afternoon if you can. So you can certainly let natural light pour in through the windows, but nothing beats going outside and letting their eyes take in the sun outside. During naps, you don't need to turn on lamps or extra lights, but you also shouldn't close the blinds. And definitely don't start putting them down in a blackout room for naps just yet. Let that natural daylight help signal their bodies that it is daytime. And just a reminder, you don't need to keep your house totally silent during daytime naps because during these first 2 months, it's perfectly fine to have regular household noises like talking or running the dishwasher or the TV in the other room happening during nap time. The normal daytime noises help reinforce the difference between day and night. Now, this is important. The naturally lit naps are just for those first 6 to 8 weeks. After that, once your baby is closer to 2 months, you'll want to start practicing some of the naps in their dark sleep environment, the same place they sleep at night. But early on, natural light during naps actually helps their body clock or circadian rhythm start to develop. And speaking of that body clock, just a quick fun fact for you. A baby's melatonin production, the hormone that helps regulate sleep, doesn't really start to kick into gear until around 6 to 8 weeks of age. That's why in those early weeks, light exposure is so much more powerful than any strict nap or bedtime schedule. You're helping lay the foundation for that internal clock to develop naturally. Now, some parents ask, okay, but how long will it take to fix day-night confusion once we start doing this? Here's the answer. Some babies adjust in just a few days, while others need a week or 2 of consistent light-dark management. Either way, it will get better, and I want you to really notice and celebrate small wins along the way. Even if your baby goes from waking every 30 minutes to an hour to 2 hours, and then they suddenly give you a 3 to 4 hour stretch at night, that is progress worth celebrating. And one more practical tip. If your baby is really struggling with day-night confusion, I do recommend capping any daytime naps at about 2 to 2.5 hours. We want to prevent them from taking all of their longest stretches during the day and keep encouraging longer stretches to happen at night. That doesn't mean I don't want them to nap. Napping is important for night sleep as well. We just want to cap it at 2 to 2.5 hours. The bottom line is this. If you keep the nighttime super dark, the daytime nice and light, and stick to this plan consistently, day-night confusion should resolve by the time your baby is about 6 weeks old. And even if your baby doesn't seem to be struggling with day-night confusion, I still recommend this approach during these early weeks. That contrast between dark nights and naturally lit days is one of the best things you can do to support healthy sleep development right from the start. So you've got this. And if you're looking for more step-by-step support with newborn sleep, I'd love to invite you to check out my Have Baby Need Sleep program. It's a coaching program designed specifically for parents of babies 0 to 20 weeks old, and it's packed with everything you need to navigate newborn sleep with more confidence and a lot less guesswork. Inside the program, you'll get instant access to core modules covering everything from what to expect in the first 8 weeks, how to build healthy sleep habits without pressure, how to transition through the 4-month sleep regression, and even bonus resources like balancing sleep and work, tackling teething, and managing twins' sleep. Plus, you'll have access to the weekly live Q&A sessions with me until your baby turns 20 weeks old, so you can get personalized help all along the way as your baby grows and develops. If you want to set your family up for smoother naps and longer nights, I'd love to support you inside Have Baby Needs Sleep. You can find the link to learn more right in the show notes. If you found today's episode helpful, don't forget to subscribe, and I'd love it if you would just take a minute to leave a review, because that will help other parents find the show, and it would mean the world to me. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you back here next time. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to How Long Till Bedtime. To learn how we can work together to improve your child's sleep, please visit sleepandwellnesscoach.com.